We have another bizarre collection of all that's weird and mysterious in this world.
So join us as we attempt to solve some of those cases that baffle, intrigue and confound all of us. We discover what lurks in the depths of one of the most haunted theatres in the country, and this one will scare you.
Is this the most haunted theatre in Britain?
It's a mystery why clocks run backwards, the lights flicker and ghostly footsteps echo around the Theatre Royal in Margate.
Whether or not you believe in ghosts, you cannot deny that there have been some very strange and mysterious goings-on in here. A year ago, another TV programme was being recorded on this very stage. Whilst the cameras were running, without any explanation, suddenly the lights started to flicker on and off. There was a lull in the proceedings as shivers engulfed the spines of cast and crew. No one could ever ascertain what had actually happened. The electricians were foxed. No one can say whether it was just a power surge or whether some other more spooky phenomenon had occurred. At the side of the stage, out of the spotlight's beams, is the secluded prompt corner with an ordinary clock on the wall. But at the Theatre Royal, the clock does some very extraordinary things. Occasionally, when no one expects it, something bizarre happens. One evening, Fred Hudson, who is one of the caretakers here, was going about his normal business. He looked up at the clock, and time went back. Some say it could be a faulty clock, but Fred is reported to have said that it doesn't matter what type of clock you put in Prompt Corner, it will always play up. On another occasion, Fred the caretaker went up to the room at the back of the theatre. He stayed there overnight, keeping an eye on a paranormal group who had decided to stay in the theatre to see if it was haunted. Fred was in a deep sleep when suddenly he was woken up by some whispering. As Fred got up to walk away, he also heard the strange sound of distant footsteps. The group recorded these same footsteps on their tape recorder.
So what do you think? Are the theatre's lights similar to a dodgy fuse? Is the clock just an unreliable old timepiece? Was Fred the caretaker just having a nightmare? Or is this the most haunted theatre in Britain?
Tim Froome, the theatre technician, thinks it is.
One morning, I was having a cup of tea with Fred the caretaker at the front of the theatre. And at that particular time, we was expecting an actor and a technician to come in for a show, our very first show. So I left him at the front and I came through to the back, went through the back door, up the steps, and I see, well, at the time, I thought was one of the actors or something, come the other way. It was a lady in a long dress with black hair, and she passed me on the stairs, and I said, "Morning," and she didn't answer me. And when I looked round, when I got to the top of the stairs, she actually disappeared. The strange thing was, she was solid. And you couldn't put your hand through it. And I always thought a ghost you could put your hand through. But it wasn't until I got to the top of the stairs and looked over my shoulder, she just disappeared into thin air.
A couple of days later, Tim was still pondering. Who was the mysterious lady? On that morning, the doors had been locked, and the only other people who could have been in the building were the two who had come to sort out the lights, and it was neither of them. Tim gave a detailed description of the woman to his theatrical colleagues. He even had an artist's impression drawn up. It was then that Tim realised something very strange. Tim Froome was convinced that he had seen one of the Theatre Royal's first managers, the ghost of Sarah Thorne. So what do you think? Did Tim really see the ghost of Sarah Thorne, the former manager of the Theatre Royal? And is this one of the most haunted theatres in Britain? Well, the lights may flicker mysteriously, the clocks may move in strange ways, and there may be weird goings-on. But at the Theatre Royal Margate, the show must go on.